I'd like to say hello to Chris and Mary Elby, Louise Lyons, her two daughters, Teresa and Tina, my good buddy Dave and Deb up here, over here my other neighbors of Brian and Amy Pires. Over across the road is Cody and Karen. Cody and Karen Nichols, Jeff and Leanne Moore that live right down here. Bob and Cora Bryan, of course. They are the best. Okay, I think I'm done.
Okay. How did it feel when you became a grandparent for the first time?
Well, it felt kind of strange because my little granddaughter wasn't all that friendly with me, but she was just a little baby, but she's very sweet now, and I'm proud of her.
We're all proud of her. What's the best part about being a grandparent?
Best part about being a grandparent is being able to call them and talk to them about anything. They're all very, very smart, including you. And it's really good to be able to call and ask them questions about stuff. Two of them, are nurses, and you got a good job and an important job, and Judd, he's got a good job, so I'm proud of all my grandkids.
What's the most challenging part about being a grandparent?
Not throwing them in the river, I think, is probably.
How have your relationships with your children changed in later years?
Well, I've gotten closer to my daughter, but Tommy, my son, has always been just like that. You never find a better guy.
What do you like most about your newer, better relationship with Molly?
What I like, what, honey?
What do you like most about your current relationship with Molly?
With Molly?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she is showing the affection that she used to show when she was a little girl. And she's a lot more attentive than she used to be. And she just grown into be a good daughter.
What's the worst news you've ever received?
Worst news? Well, that would of course be the passing of my mom and dad and my brother and my two sisters. It would be equally all bad news.
How old were you when your parents passed?
Well, I mean, I don't really know how old I was. I would say I was probably in my brother died a long time ago. He had cancer, and he was only 60-some years old when he passed, but that was back in probably the 80s and 90s.
Who are your best friends right now?
My best friends right now?
Mm-hmm.
Is that outside of relatives?
Yes.
Okay, Bob and Cora Bryant.
Who has been your longest friend, and how did you meet?
Oh, for heaven's sakes, that's
Let's do currently living.
the currently living.
Yes.
Johnny Johnson, who lives in Rantoul. I met him when I worked for the Air Force and he was in the Air Force. We met a long time ago and we are still very good, close friends.
How do you spend time with your friends now?
Well, they come over and they lay on the floor, lay on the couch, and we talk about everything. So last night we had 4 different people here, and it was just fun having everybody around, you know. We never talk about anything specific, it's just whatever comes up.
I like they all come for your birthdays and fish fries.
Yeah, they all come to my birthdays and fish fries.
When did you decide to retire?
Well, as you know, I was working at Chanute Air Force Base and I loved my job. And Chanute, they decided to close Chanute. And I had a chance to go to Texas, I had a chance to go to Tennessee, and I had a chance to go to South Carolina. And I just didn't want to move. And the base closed in '93, and that's when I retired.
So I was a year old.
Pardon me?
I was 1 year old.
You were 1 year old.
How have you spent your retirement?
Pardon me?
How have you spent your retirement? What are some things you've done?
Well, when I first retired, we were just moving out here, and this was a cornfield. So I spent most of my time landscaping this place, planting trees and everything like that. So it was good to have something to do when I retired. And I had a lot to do.
Did Uncle Buck dig out the hole for the pond? Did he
Uncle
do that?
Buck dug the pond. Uncle Buck did all the dirt work of this place and did a good job.
Now I'm out here in Denver on a rocky mountain high, while somewhere out in Texas it's a cowboy loving night. I played the bars in Texas from Waco to San Antonio. Sometimes I had a hard time finding my way home. I thought Texas was big enough to hide my cheating ways, but it's hard to hide a lie inside with it written on your face. And it's our anniversary, and I'll spend it alone. Someone else enjoys the love that was mine for so long. Now I'm out here in Denver on a rocky mountain high, while somewhere out in Texas it's a cowboy loving night. Somewhere out in Texas it's a cowboy loving night.
What do you do for fun now?
Look at myself in the mirror.
You like to play chess with Silas.
I love to play chess with Silas, yes. And one of these days I'm gonna beat the little rascal. I don't know how, but someday.
What kind of movies, music, and books do you enjoy now?
Well, I enjoy books on animals and birds, as you can see, and movies, Gunsmoke.
What are some of the most important things that you've learned in life?
Well, the most important thing I've learned in life is probably to be patient with other people. You know, you get upset, they get upset, and the first thing you know, you got an argument going. And the best way to handle that is just to be patient, be calm. And I think that's probably the most important thing I've learned.
What qualities do you most value in your friends?
Loyalty, loyalty, and loyalty.
And you got that out of all of your friends.
Yes, I do.
What's the most important thing you learned from your mother and your father?
Well, I guess from both of them is hard work. You know, working for what you want and for what you need. And I learned that from both of them because Mom and Dad both were hard workers.
Who is the wisest person you've ever known?
The wisest person I've ever known is probably my wife, Jan. She knows about everything. She's smart, and what she doesn't know, she finds out.
What have you learned from her?
What did I learn from her? To behave myself, be patient, and give her a lot of love.
What have you changed your mind about over the years?
Well, I guess what is basically I have changed over is, and I hate to say this, but segregation. I was born in Oklahoma. I was raised in Kansas, and the blacks went to separate schools, and I went to a white school. And later on, when I got in high school, we all mixed and never had any problems. And I never wondered, or always wondered, why we weren't mixed from the very beginning.
What advice do you have for your children and grandchildren about being a parent?
What is what, honey?
What advice do you have for your children and your grandchildren about being a parent?
Oh, always be honest and always be fair, but always be steady in what you're doing. What applies today should apply tomorrow. You can't change your mind from one day to the next and expect a child to respect that. You just can't do that. You got to be steady in what you do.
What do you find most difficult about raising children?
Watching them grow up. That's the most difficult thing, is watching them grow up, because you know, taken care of them all these years. You've looked out for them all these years. And then all of a sudden, they're gone. They're on their own. And it's really hard to get used to them being gone.
No, I'm about to find that out in a couple years. What did you find most rewarding about being a parent?
Is having my son and my daughter hug me and tell me they love me.
Oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.